Hello everybody, it's Bear Gabriel. I'm back with another video, another live discussion. Again, I'm gonna try pushing it to really be able to be more consistent with the videos at the very least. And I just want to give an update of my personal life and my personal struggles that I'm going through, and also just have a general Q&A about the movement and what we're about and navigating how we can continue to move forward. You know, whether that be the approach of spreading the awareness of the message, or whether that be talking about the challenges we may face within our own community and the outside world. And yeah, that's what this video is about, this live is about. So first off, I'm going to talk about some issues, some struggles that I'm currently going through right now. And you know, currently I moved over to Arizona. You know, right now I'm in Chandler, Arizona. And you know, I moved from the Bay Area because I was having some issues out there with family. And now I'm over here in Arizona, and I'm staying with a native elder. He's To'ono Atham. And it's been a good experience thus far. But I am having trouble finding employment, and I've faced a lot of racism over here, especially seeking work. And it's been a process. You know, I was chased the other day by a bald-headed white guy in a car when I was walking my girlfriend's dog. I was chased. And every time I notice when I try to get work, I get a lot of really mean stares. And I get the kind of dirty beaner wetback look. You know, and I'm not saying this as a woe is me, but I am struggling right now. You know, if it wasn't for this elder, I'd probably be homeless. Well, I technically am homeless. But I'm still going nonetheless, and I'm still trying to put my content out there. And I'm still very grateful to be alive. But right now I'm going through a difficult situation. And if any of you guys can help me, even if it's just a few dollars or a few cents, or any advice even, I'm open. But you know, I want to be able, and I think not only me, we all need to be able to reach out to our own community and be able to help and aid ourselves and humble ourselves to say when we need help. You know, I know that is important. It's important to talk about those things. So that's why I'm bringing it out, and I'm trying to be forthcoming. And I know I haven't been consistent as much as I'd like, but that's kind of the reason why. And I do try to keep it private about the things I personally go through and whatnot, but yeah. Hey, Louis. I just try to be very open about it. I'm trying to be more open about it now. But yeah, that's basically what's been going on with me. I put a link to my Cash App in the YouTube community discussion thing. I appreciate that, Red Man Kennels. That's what's up, my guy. Keep your head up, brother. The Creator gives its strongest battles to his strongest warriors. You'll get back up from this and become even stronger and wiser than you once were. That's true. It's a very humbling experience. You know, I heard some of the horror stories about, you know, Arizona. You know, you hear a lot about the racism towards Mexicans, the Border Patrol, you know, the general, you know, the large conservative white population that's out here. And, I think that growing up in, the Bay Area, which is California, which is like a blue state, and then staying in Albuquerque, New Mexico, which is also a blue state, the whites are still racist, but over here it's a lot more, in this red state, it's definitely a lot more obvious. It's definitely a lot more, there's less of a cover up. There's less subtlety. It's more direct in your face of, I don't like you here. That's the vibe. I don't want you here. I get the, you're a dirty wetback, you're a beaner look a lot, or I get the scoffs. So, Arizona is no joke when it comes to that. And I think this is, in a weird way, I agree with what Red Man's Kennel said. This will make me stronger because, I'm experiencing a lot of the reality of people who are in this situation are people. I am. A lot of our people grew up in this and had nowhere to run. They didn't have a safe place to be. They had to deal with this. And, I have a lot of empathy. I'm trying to understand that, I'm trying to understand it, but yeah. I was kicked out of a Walgreens the other day too. I was dressed just like this. I like to think I dress pretty nice. I try to. Clean. But I was kicked out. I was screamed at. I was yelled at and asked to leave just because what? I wasn't doing anything. I was just walking around. I was walking around just looking for things. I was actually trying to meet up with my girlfriend and have lunch with her. But I was kicked out. I was kicked out and I was screamed at. And I asked why. There was no reason. It was just the fact that I was Mexican Indian. They treat us like immigrants. They treat us like wetbacks. But I believe white people are true. They are the master wetbacks. They are the master illegals. They are the master immigrants. We have always been here. Us Mexican people are indigenous people. We've always been here. But when you have, the colonizers, the Yordies, trying to talk shit about us, like we are the immigrants or the aliens. Notice these words. These words are trying to define us as something that's not supposed to be here. But our ancestors have been here for time immemorial. And we do have a place here, more so than they ever will. We've always been here. We've always been here. So I do believe that this is, it's growing pains for sure, but I have to see this, and I had to be treated like this to, again, feel the mission, be reminded of why I'm here. Maybe I'm supposed to be treated this way, so I remember the level of severity that our people, the danger and disrespect our people are facing. We get treated like cockroaches and aliens and immigrants, foreigners, aliens by the master foreigners. The true foreigners are treating us as foreigners, and they have redefined us as aliens, as the immigrants, as the ones that are a nuisance, when we are the originals. We're the true natural beings of this land. We are. We are native people. We are indigenous people. This is who we are. This is what we are. And I know that this is why I'm here. And why many of you watching this are here too. Because we understand that we need to wake up to the brown indigenous consciousness of who we are. Where are you from? I was born and raised in the Bay Area. My people are indigenous from Mexico. They're from Sinaloa and Zacatecas, Guanajuato. And then I have a great great grandmother from Aguascalientes. But so I'm mainly Yoreme, which is a sister tribe of the Yaqui, where we are on the other side of the border. So our people are not from the United States, as it's called now. We're from Mexico. But I am an indigenous person. I consider myself an indigenous American or a Native American. I do, because the Americas is a continent, and we're related to one another. We all come from the same seed. You know, an Italian and a French person are very different culturally, but they are still both Europeans. And that's the way I see being Native American or an indigenous American. We have diversity amongst ourselves, different languages, culture, but we still are all red nations, native nations of Turtle Island and Abya. And we are one people with much diversity. And that's the unity that I'm trying to bring together. This movement is trying to bring together, that we're trying to bring together, is just making that more known and the unity stronger. Imagine if you had Mexico aiding in with the native reservations, you know, helping them gain sovereignty. And we imagine if we recognized it on a deeper level and we understood that we are relatives. If there can be a European Union, if there can be African unions, then there can be Native American unions amongst all relatives of this continent. That's what's aggravating these people, have stolen so much from our community and continue to treat us like trash, and they are the ones who literally don't belong here. They're the true immigrants, the true foreigners. And we don't have that same, you know, us as Native people, and this is a generalization, but I think a lot of us feel the same way. Us as Native people, we've always been very inviting and open-armed and very good, well-mannered, hospitable peoples. That's just our nature. Traditionally, that's our nature, to be very hospitable. But, you know, the Europeans, when they first arrived here, they got us in a very unique position because they took advantage of our kindness and they exploited us. They exploited us, they exploited our land, they exploited the animals, and they completely contaminated the balance of this land. Not just in Canada, not just in the United States, not just in Mexico even, but for the entire continent. For Turtle Island, for Abya, for North, Central, and South America. They call us wetbacks. They call our people, they call the Mexican, the Central American, the South American wetbacks. The majority of those people are indigenous people. Those are native people. The overwhelming majority. They have stronger ties and a stronger right to be here and migrate throughout the Americas like their ancestors than any European does. Their ancestors have been here since the beginning. Our ancestors have been here since the beginning. But yet we're told we are the aliens and illegals, the ones that are foreigners. It's a hypocrisy. It's a joke. It's a joke. I'm going to walk with pride when I stand on my continent. The natives from the United States, the natives from Mexico, the natives from Central and South America are all related to one another. We're all connected. We're all related to each other, like really deeply. Like we're the same, biologically, we are essentially the same people. We are the same people. We're Turtle Islanders. We're Abyayalans. We're Indigenous Americans. But if we were to understand that the continent is still we're still the majority here. It's like asking yourself, what's the majority population of Africa? Would you think Asian? No, it'd be Africans, because they're the originals of the land. They would be the most of the land. So I ask you, who is still the majority of the Americas? The continent. Not a specific settler nation, but the continent itself. It would be Native Americans. Yes, from North, Central, South America. The indigenous peoples of the Americas are still, they're still the majority. We are still the majority. So y'all been here for 100,000 years, but you ain't built any roads or buildings? You sound so ignorant. I pity you. The largest structure in the entire world, the largest structure in human history ever made is in Cholula, Mexico. The largest pyramid. It's not found in Egypt. It's not found in Europe. It's not found in Asia. It's actually found in Puebla, which is a state in Mexico. It's called the Great Cholula Pyramid. The indigenous name for that pyramid is Tlachihualtepec, which translates from Nahuatl to man-made mountain. And it is the largest, grandest, biggest structure in the entire world. You say the largest structure is in Oceania, Padang. It isn't. You need to look into your research a little bit deeper, my friend, and see it for yourself. Roads were built all over. Roads were built in Machu Picchu, Peru. Roads are all over the Americas. You can look at Mesoamerica. You need to understand that your ignorance is killing you, dude. It's really killing you. You're hurt. And you're miseducated. You want to believe that indigenous people are inferior because that's all you've ever been taught. You've been lied to. I would seriously consider studying on your own, or trying to talk to someone who actually has some knowledge, because it seems like you're kind of left out, bro. We Mayans had temples and roads. Look it up. It's all covered by trees. Yeah, I know. We didn't have roads and buildings and structures. It's like, dude, have you ever, like Mexico, even Mexico, Guatemala, known for their vast, large structures. And these aren't just any like random structures. These are technological marvels. They aligned with the stars. They aligned mathematically very well. Like they're structurally very, very advanced. Many people don't even know how these structures are created because they're so mathematically sound. It's just, there's a lot to it. There's a lot to it. There is a lot to it. Where's your writing system? You are racist. I'm racist? You literally said that we had no roads. You literally generalized all of us and said we didn't have any structures when we literally, pretty much every native nation has a structure of some sort. So it's like you're vastly generalizing a group of an entire race of people that is incredibly diverse. It's like you're saying, it's like saying because the Chinese didn't have something, the Japanese, Cambodians, Filipinos, and every other Asian group didn't have it. That's like the same like weight of ignorance. What pants and shoes did you... We have pants and shoes traditionally. Like this guy's just an idiot. I'm just gonna, there's no arguing with this level of ignorance. He just sounded like he has some sort of mental thing. All right, that fool's gone. You know, when there's a level of ignorance, you know, the sad thing is we have receipts for everything we just talked about. It's just when someone is so triggered and so ignorant to certain facts and they just don't want to hear it, you're better off just letting it go. So that's what I did with that guy. I just let that go. If any of you are in Arizona and you want to link up, and you want to see and talk about how we can further, I want to start organizing over here. I think that's really important. So if you're about the movement, you're in the Arizona area, and you want to link up, please let me know. We can talk, organize events to help the people. Who really wants to help the people? I'm curious. If any of you are in the area, if you can make it to the general Chandler area, then we have no excuse. If we're really down about this, if we're really down about moving forward, if we're really down about the liberation of our race, of our people, then there is no excuse. We have to meet. We have to meet and plan. Or if you find your day-to-day job slaving around for the Gachupin, the colonizer, more important than okay, but I think that we can move forward and make this life worth living by helping our people and elevating.
What time is your thing?
It's 11:30. I could probably come earlier too.
No, because I just dropped her off at Casa Grande, so in about maybe an hour she should be done.
Okay.
So I gotta go all the way to Casa Grande, pick her up, and then come back. I don't know if you're gonna make 11:30 or not.
Okay.
You might want to tell me if you can do it like this afternoon even.
Like, what do you think? 1, 2?
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe 1.
Yeah, I'll let him know.
Yeah. I mean, we might make it, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get it.
It's better to let her know now instead of on the way over there. Tell them I'm not gonna make it on time or whatever.
Okay.
So
I'll let him know, like, how about 1:30?
that, because what time is it now? It's 9:20 now. So see, she might not be done till 10:30, maybe even 11. So that means I gotta go all the way over there, pick her up, and then come all the way back.
Okay.
So I would say like 1-ish.
Okay.
Out there.
All right, so this sounds good.
Okay.
I can speak a bit of my native language, yes, I can. I'm still learning it. I'm not fluent yet, but I am. How do you donate to you? Well, in this specific time, you can go on my community, the community speaking page, or the discussion option on my page, my YouTube channel, and you can. There's a link to my Cash App. There's also the barcode for my Cash App, and you can donate to me directly there. You know, right now I'm trying to figure my stuff out. Like I said, I'm essentially homeless. You know, I'm dressed up right now just to try to go to a job interview out here in Arizona. Again, I'm very much trying to get my feet on the ground up over here. And also, I'm not trying to just get my feet on the ground, you know, financially, sustainably, in that way. That's very important, crucial. But I'm also trying to get this movement off the ground in a way that it hasn't been for a very, very, very long time. Maybe ever. Like, right? This needs to be as big as at least the Chicano movement, or at least as big as maybe even AIM, the American Indian movement. Like this is this, you know, this is the passing the torch, because those were crucial. Those were important movements. But it's time that there's a second wave that's bigger. That's bigger. That's more encompassing. That's more, you know, that brings us all together on an even higher level. If you're tired of living this life, then it's that time that we dig our heels in and we start pushing. And I think we can do it. It's scary. It's horrifying in many ways, but you know, there was this quote by Emiliano Zapata. He said this quote: "If you want to be an eagle, fly. If you want to be a worm, crawl. But don't complain about being stepped on." And I think it's time that we all become eagles. I think it's all time that we fly. I think it's that time. And I think that this movement, we let our people fly, awaken to the truth that they are a brown native people. And that may express itself in many different ways. Some people believe that being Chicano is an indigenous identity. Some people believe that they don't like the term Chicano and they want to just call themselves indigenous or native. Some people believe that you must reconnect to your tribe in a specific pueblo in Mexico. Whatever the approach, okay. Nonetheless, we need to bring it out more. We need to bring it out more. The general idea out more, to a higher level, to a level that will awaken the consciousness of the Mexican, the so-called Latino, so that we can fly with our indigenous identity, so we can awaken and step up with our native roots. Call me crazy, but that's what I believe. And if you want to move forward with this, if you're in Arizona, if you're by the Chandler area, let's meet up. Let's meet up. We need warriors. We need people who are not afraid of sacrifice. I've organized with a lot of people who talk the talk, but they do not walk the walk. This isn't about putting yourself in needless danger. This isn't that type of movement. This is completely ideological. This is what I consider an ideological movement of bringing it out more. Bringing it out in a way that will just make the sky fall and awaken the people, to make us grow in numbers. It's grown a lot in the last several years since I've been involved in this idea and this thought since I was 12 years old. I'm also now 26. It's been 14 years, and it's grown a lot. The next generation should be sharper than us. The next generation should know that they are Indigenous people. That should be a given. That should be the obvious. If we can at least get there, then we have won. We have cemented the first step. The next generation should know a little bit more native language than we know. The next generation should have more of a connection and a respect for the land than we do. The next generation should know more history about where they come from than we do. That's what I believe. I think most of you agree too. That's great, Roger. Chris, I agree. All of us, I think we agree. I've checked out other channels. If you want to reach out to me, you can reach out on my Instagram, or you can comment on my YouTube, but I think it'd be better to just DM me. On my Instagram, it would be _Gabriel, Gabriel, Hooso, Hooso _. So it's _Gabriel Hooso _ or Gabriel _Gabriel Hooso _. You can DM me on there. We can meet up. Okay, you can also email me too, which is, dang, I don't even know how I do it. Let's see how I do this. Hooso, Hooso, Gabriel, Gabriel @gmail.com. So it's Gabriel @gmail.com. That's how you can also reach me. Gabriel @gmail.com. What's good to study? I recommend the book To Die in This Way. The Myth of the Mestizaje. I also recommend Mexico Profundo, Deep Mexico, by Guillermo Banfield Batalla. And I recommend A Chicana Roadmap to Decolonization and a Native Identity by Isidro Ramon. I have been thinking about the African and European in us. These people change their looks. How should we think about this in the sense of feeling whole? You can acknowledge them. you can identify with them. But I wouldn't generalize to say that all of us have European or African in us. But there is a lot of European mixture within native circles, and that's not just in Mexico, that's also in the United States and Canada. I mean, a lot of them are mixed with English and French. But just because you're mixed doesn't mean that you can't identify with your native heritage. Or it doesn't mean that you need to exclusively identify with your native heritage too. No one is holding a gun to your head saying you can only identify with your native roots. I also recommend American Holocaust. That is a really good book. By David E. Stannard, good book. But anyway, guys, I got some work I gotta do, figure some things out. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you for joining me, and take care.